the YouTube does not have like the doesn't have the loading screen and all that. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm a friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and it is 8 o'clock over here on the West Coast. That means it's EB time for you over there on the East. That's okay. We're here again for another weekly Brawl session. Honestly, probably the only thing that's actually keeping me engaged in Magic right now. Part of it's that I've been like super hyper focused on Final Fantasy 14, but with the new patch coming out later this month and all that, and you know, catching up on a bunch of stuff, working on a really long review essay for Dawn Trail. But I haven't forgotten about Magic. I can't forget about Magic. Part of the reason why I still make sure I do a weekly Magic stream is so I don't fall out and like fall behind and anything like that. Like a girl's got to get her gold, and sure, maybe I missed like, you know, 1,000 golds worth from not doing dailies for a couple of days. But hey, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, it's all about where you are in the game and what you want. And also, like, just make sure you aren't doing this out of obligation. You gotta make sure you maintain the joy of the game. Yeah, that takes a if that takes the form of, you know, slacking off from dailies every once in a while, well, so be it. Anyway, so today we're going to be revisiting one of my older decks. This is really more of a tune-up season, I think, than like a brewing season. There are some cool commanders that I really want to take a look at still at some point, but with, you know, Magic motivation being at a lull, you know, sometimes it's better just to, you know, work with what you have, make some tunes, you know, basically pull out the pre-made freezer stuff. And today, we're going to be tuning up Lagrella the Magpie. I've already pulled out a couple of cards. When Murders at Karlov Manor came out, I got a little too lost in the sauce going for a lot of the cloaking stuff, a lot of the Manifest Dread stuff that also came out with Dustmorn. But I really want to get back to her roots as an artifact-based Blink deck. So to that end, we're looking more at the Aether Drift stuff. So like, World Wagon is really cool because it can go ahead and search for basic lands. There's just a turn faster than Solemn Simulacrum. I think that's pretty big. We also do have Perilous Snare here, which is just an artifact version of O-Ring. Also very nice to have. There was a couple of other things that I was looking at. I did put in the Ephemerate here, just kind of making sure we have additional link stuff to help us get through the game. Pathmaker. Pathmaker's here because it can tutor up any artifact, so I think pretty good target to grab. There's like 6 cards. House Meld. I did not forget to put in House Meld here. House Meld is kind of ridiculous. And I already put in a new dual land. There was like, what, one more card? Yeah, there was like one more card. What was? Oh, right. We went and put Afara in. So I haven't added any of the Pioneer Masters cards into this deck until now. So Afara is also a really good one. Afara can draw us a ton of cards. It's basically like an indestructible version of Guardian Project. So we'll go ahead and make some further tune-ups as we go. I don't want to change too much before we get through. I mostly just want to I want to make sure I pulled out the cards that were, you know, a little too saucy. Like at one point I had Nadu in here. Free nerf Nadu I think is actually pretty nice. I think being able to target Nadu with Lagrella over and over again, maybe target Nadu with a Thassa or a Teleportation Circle, those are also perfectly nice. But that's kind of just adding value for value when I want to focus more on synergy with specifically. I was playing Shark deck, Shark Cycling, or I was playing Shark Cycling a few days ago. And I was getting some intense matchups. You know what the funny thing is? I'm not going to get my veteran brawler right away, partly because I'm in a lull right now. This is a Modi celebrative bounty. A Broil Grazer. Let's just put the island in play. Then we can just go straight into Transformer. It's great if we draw like another land. Otherwise, really far behind. Dovin's Veto, Pull the Moon, Elish Norn, and Legion of Clay. The Elish Norn is interesting here. I'm willing to keep this for Elish and removal. We also got Dovin's Veto, so this probably looks like play Crossroads, Scribe Blue, play Covered Plains. We'll take the Scribe. Wrath of God is pretty good against a creature deck like Modi. That's going to be more for late game, and we need to make sure we actually get to that point. The Pull the Mist Moon. They don't have any sort of Spiral Garden. You unlock the source to your library before basically putting the battlefield tapped. I'm going to go ahead and hit this for tempo. We could into the north. Play the Circuit Mender. Circuit Mender gains us life. We want to make sure we have white. Let's see. Grab white. We're kind of curtailing ourselves on blue. That's not great. Monstrous Vortex. You're the Monstrous Vortex version of the deck? Very interesting. I would love to be able to play Elish Norn right here. That doesn't stop everything. But, you know what does happen? We can go ahead, play Pull the Moon, Mist Moon now. Put it on Elish Norn. Now, Elish Norn can come down, and she'll actually exile 2 non-land permanents. Assuming that, we get to do the thing. They must have been all in on the Monstrous Vortex gimmick. Hey, Jess. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope works okay. You got tomorrow's a Wednesday. Let's see. You actually just were you streaming tonight? I don't remember if I saw your notification. If you did. Okay. Okay. Hold on. We've got another famous Jess pun. What do you call a ghost without a partner? Oohless. Come on. You had to admit I have spirit for that. Awful. Absolutely awful. Boo. Boo. Boo, I say. That's not an endorsement. That is a scathing indictment. And then Jess is playing the old Uno card. By the way, Jess, you should be reading. You should do some reading. Reading is nice. I like reading. Guess that the Hellraiser. This is gonna be interesting. So like, this is what, mono black crime? There's a few different cards that you can use to really like pop off with Getza. And then you make 2 zombies. The ability triggers only once each turn. And she has Ward 2. That's the key part. Ward 2. Get lost. We have a lot of good removal here. Elish Norn is good. Ooh, if we can get like the house med. Like, we have a ton of really good threats in this hand. No white. That's a that's an oopsie by my part. I thought that this Willow Rush Verge was a white source for some reason. So we have to hope we draw into white. And there's a very strong chance that we're going to lose House Meld for Thoughtseize purposes. More than halfway through your book. And the dragons are mating. Oh my god, that's spicy. Oh my god, that is so spicy. Forest. See if that scares them off. Let's see, that's a bat. So I am actually just losing something, but only until like this bat goes away. Like they know that House Meld's the only thing I can reasonably play with another land drop. What do you take here? You can hedge on the House Meld, but everything else is like I'm probably the furthest away from being able to cast Wrath of God. Okay, they did take Elichnor. This could actually just end up being a curve stomping. 3 mana. Still Thoughtseize. The Phyrexian Arena is really... Oh, thank God. Exile target artifact or creature controls. Let's exile target creature. If we're always doing this, I don't want to drop the Get Lost, so... I think I have to, though. I think I have to Get Lost the Phyrexian Arena. They get a couple of counters. They could make the Deep Cavern Bat bigger, but then we can go ahead and play the Annex Sentry. We can also like House Meld if we really need to. You can House Meld the Bat, get the Bat, take a card out of their hand. Perfect the Punisher. Exile up to 1 target black card from your graveyard and copy it. Whenever you exile up to 1 copy it. I want to do it to get Gissa. Like I just want to get rid of Gissa, but the value on this is really huge. Karavik the Punisher. Yep, that's his name. No relation to Marvel's Punisher. Alright, let's take a look to see what they've got. So, cut down. That deals with Lagrella. Insatiable Avarice, then? Get rid of their draw. Sorry, Jess. I don't have tits up. I probably should have taken that down. This is whenever you commit a crime, exile up to 1 target black card from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy. If you do, lose 2 life. So that could actually be cut down, pull out Phyrexian Arena. About this for a sec. Cut down. They recast Phyrexian Arena. That's something that we want to avoid. I probably just don't play a creature then, right? Or at the very least, I could play Pilgrim into Sentry. Like, they can go ahead and cut down. They have, like... Oh, no, they didn't. That's interesting. They missed their chance to get the arena unless they drew into like another crime card. Love to drop this Elichnor next turn. Okay, so they got map. Phyrexian Tower is neat. Not doing a lot of stuff right this second. Drew him a couple of swamps. Well, land is land, I guess. Now we have options. I can Lagrella, eat the Pilgrim. I can also, like, pull the Moon. Let's think about this for a second. I love to pull the Moon. Hit Gissa. Gal in the box. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. Elichnor could just eat this. I think if Elichnor eats this... I think I am just pull the Moon in here because this is double white and if they kill the Ephesus Pilgrim, I'm locked out of that answer. So they could sacrifice Karavek to the tower. They're not going to. Now we need one more land if we want Elishnorn to be able to hit Gissa. That's fine. Lagrella is also still an option. We can go ahead, hit Lagrella, exile the Pilgrim, so that way the Pilgrim's protected. Pilgrim comes back. 3/3 is a little harder to kill. Now we have to discard a card. Let's discard the red. And then they can have a card from my deck. That's fine. Alright, there's Gissa. Snow-covered island. Do I want to hit the Pokemon? 3, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Now, if anything happens to Lagrella, which, since they left Gissa underneath, very likely to happen. Like, they can Wrath, and then we'll get the Pilgrim back, and the Pilgrim will be a little beefier. We're still 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 land drops away from being able to actually use the portal. They could reanimate the Sentry to exile Lagrella, but then I can exile the Sentry back. I've also got Elishnorn here. Yeah, okay. So they're reanimating the NX Sentry. Exile. Yeah, that's fine. Pilgrim's Vigor. I guess they can... Vein Ripper. That is what? Just sack a creature? Yeah, that's sack a creature. And this is why we're doing this. They could sacrifice the Annex Sentry. So let's go ahead and target Gissa first. Target the Annex Sentry. Go ahead, pay the 2. That's fine. They want to use the tower, right? Yeah, they want to use the tower. Which is fine, because then we go ahead and we exile the Vein Ripper. Vein Ripper is going to hit us for 2. 2 more? That's a lot of life. We're down to 7. We're going to need the Sun Titan to start pulling like a ton of weight somehow. Oh, they sacrificed Gissa. Okay. This is sacrifice. I could sacrifice the Elishnorn, and then that gets the Annex back. I don't think I need to do that. No. We're just gonna leave that as is. I have to sacrifice the Pilgrim too, don't I? That sucks. That really, really sucks. So, like, we have a lot of different avenues to go down, but not having the Pilgrim because we play the Sun Titan is a bit of a problem. Alright, Gissa's down. Tiny Bones is down. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna name Giant here, so that way we can play Sun Titan. Alright, we're chilling. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're 1 away from being able to portal them. And if we can portal them... Oh, the card they conjured was a forest. Okay. Yeah, Undercity is just like... It's fine. You get a random card from the library, so like the chances of them hitting a land is roughly 35-ish%. Their ETBs are turned off, so they can't just choop a copper me. Red Lance is interesting. It's interesting very specifically because it does make extra zombies. It's just like a way to get value out of your lands. And we do have to block Tiny Bones, and Tiny Bones has Death Touch. He has combat damage. You may cast target non-land permanent card. And mana. So like they hit us for 2, they get my Pilgrim. I don't like this. I don't like this, Batman. I think I just have to let this go. Yep, they can go ahead and cast my Pilgrim. I just need any of my engine pieces to start popping off. That was not what I needed. I think we're dead. I think we're factual dead now. Oh god, it's obnoxious. I could theoretically have blocked Elish Norn onto Tiny Bones, gotten the Annex Sentry out, exiled something, because now it's what? I need 2 creatures there. I need 6 blockers to deal with all that. Yeah, okay. Along the way, we just got completely lost. Maybe it was correct to try to trust to like trade a Lagrella and trade a Lagrella for Tiny. No, because it had Menace. That's right. Okay, and guess I was giving it Menace, right? Okay, that's some synergy. Arabella Abandoned Doll. This is going to be rough very specifically because we are missing white to make this Authority of the Council really good. But Arabella also doesn't really care about that. She only cares about the number of creatures you have when you attack. Either way, this hand is not going to be worth keeping. Also, that previous hand against Gissa, that was also really rough because we were missing the white. So, like, stronger mulligan there might have helped. Opponent's currently taking a bit to decide. It might be deciding if they want to play against a Lagrella Blink deck. Lagrella tends to be, like, really grindy and value-oriented. I don't think she's as bad as Nadu, but, like, she can be. And she's also... Let's see. The opponent's on the play. This mulligan. It's still not good. We have a Sentry here. We would need a 3rd land to make this work. Archimender gets his stuff back. Chimil's back. We need something that's just better at dealing with aggro. Please stop. I guess technically this is better. Gold Forge Thopteryx isn't bad. It's probably better than trying to rely on Sight Gripped. I'll have to go turn 1 Hedge Maze? Alternatively, turn 1 Verge. Because next turn they're going to want to play Arabella, right? This only makes green if I have a forest or island in. So, alright, we're going to Hedge Maze, and that's Command Tower. We want that. Alright, so there's Arabella. Now we go... Arcane Signet. Now we'll go ahead and swords Arabella just to slow them down. Next turn we can go ahead, drop the Verge. We've also got the opportunity to play the Gold Forge Thopteryx to protect Lagrella. Gold Forge Thopteryx also makes for a decent target for Lagrella because then it's a 3/5 flying lifelinker. We don't really play Lagrella unless we have something that we need to just have a strong blink target. Although maybe we pull out Thopteryx, I don't know. It'd be nice to find like some more early value 1s and 2s, I think. Spirit Companion, that is a card that we do not want to just drop out for him. Okay. This is better. Go ahead, we can drop the Steel Seeker. Go ahead. Now we can drop Thopteryx. Yeah, I'll draw land. The whole point of this deck specifically is to be the Blinky deck, but with an artifact theme. And I think what I need specifically is just more ways to maybe find my engine pieces. Tajik Legion's Valor. That is a very good Lagrella target if I ever saw one. We're going to take the one. We're going to take 2 here. Boulder Branch Golem. That is also really good. Another thing. I would love to be able to play this Boulder Branch Golem and then have Lagrella blink this out. I don't think I'm going to get that opportunity, though. I just have to decide if I want to swing in with the Gold Force Thopteric and then blink it out with Lagrella, or if I want it to keep it around. I think I swing in regardless. I think this is a scenario where I'm going to go ahead and blink out my bird. Not Thopteryx, but I am going to blink out Bird of Paradise. Dollhouse, thank you so much for stopping by. Very specifically because I don't want to get them just like easy removal. Lagrella is very boltable. And at least this way it's going to take them a whole turn to get rid of Lagrella. Although I guess if that was going to be the case, I should have left Gold Force Thopteryx back. Well, not quite, because now if the bird comes back, it's going to come back as a 2/3, and that can block whatever they play. Oh, they've got a Johnny the Coddle Pariah.
Where shall we hunt today?
This card can be a problem. It's not a problem right now, but it can be at some point. Alright, so they have Sky Knight Vanguard. This attacks, it makes a tap token. That's fine. 4, 5, 6. That's a Windswept Heath. Let's go ahead. Play Golem now. If I have to... Well, I... don't want to say no to that. And then I guess we just chill. Sky Knight Vanguard's going to attack. It attacks into... If they bolt, they can bolt the Thopteryx. What kind of shocks do they play? That's the big question. One of the things I am going to consider, I can play Lagrella and then have this Boulder Branch Golem go underneath and save it. Okay, Clockwork Percussionist. When this creature dies, exile the top card of your library. You can play it until the end of your next turn. Don't care if the Steel Seeker dies. And block here to offset like. Okay, so they got Mary Esquire of Rohan. They also got Legion Warboss and Delny. Delny is really strong here. Doubles all of their triggers. I am tempted. I am so tempted to just like run everything in. They get to keep Legion Warboss and Mary if they do that. Delny's gonna double their comp. The biggest issue that I can think of right now is just the fact that that they would get Tajik back. They attack with they don't want to attack with a Johnny, but they get to attack with Delny. This is creature's power 2. I think I hold on. Like, I am in big danger of getting blown the fuck out right now. I think I am very willing to let Lagrella die in combat. Very specifically so I can farewell. The important thing is that, let's see, this is just cats, right? The only other cat right now is this cat warrior. You can still Arabella. Mary's a problem. I'm not as worried if all they have is... Mary does draw him 2 cards. And, like, that's bad. That's very, very bad. They swim with a cat. That's a given. I mean... yeah. Soldiers. What is this? Goblins. Yeah. I mean, we got rid of Mary. Mary did not get to draw the many cards. We take those. They didn't swim with Delny. They really kept on keeping her. Let's grab white, blue, surveillance. We can grab white, blue, surveillance. We did not play white, blue, surveillance. Do I even have? Oh wait, no, it's right here. Okay, silly. Skyclave Apparition. You are a fantastic card right now. In fact, I dare say... just like... get rid of the Delny, so that way they don't get additional triggers. And then... nah, we're just gonna keep chilling. Like, the Delny was the biggest issue, and that's been dealt with. Next, I want to try and work on that at Johnny. Arabella does not have haste, but Arabella is going to dome me for an awful frickin' lot. Like, that's 8 damage. That is so much damage. Tax deal damage. And then, like, we just don't want a Johnny Depp. So we'll take the 2 off the cat. I just need more ways to, like, blink my stuff, or at least find ways to blink stuff. Okay, so, like, block those, block here. Just give me, like, a Thassos. Okay, and Emery kind of works. Kind of. Again, the biggest issue is I just want to make sure they don't have the Tajik. I could theoretically go, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, and then the Tajik. The Tajik would come back down next turn and I can, like, re-get rid of him. That might be what I have to do. Yeah, I think that's what I have to do. I think I just go ahead and I swing in with everything. Yeah, and maybe that'll just, like, save us all the problems forever. Alright, we're gonna farewell here. I might even see this as, like, a trap. Like, just a really big... they don't want to, like, actually... yeah, for enemies. Like... yep, okay. Is there anything in our graveyard we don't hold on to? Yeah, we can go ahead and get rid of... pretty much everything except artifacts. Oh, they took Fairy! Okay, you know what? That's good. They held the Teferi. That's GG's. Like, they knew something like that was going to come, and they played that. They played it. We got got. We got got by Teferi's protection. That's what you do with those aggro decks. Teferi's Mega Clutch, exactly. Exactly. Like, theoretically, I probably could have tried to play that a little more patiently. I think if Arabella attacks in, then we do have a good block with the Golem. Hard to say. Slow Gurk. This is not a real deck, right? Whenever a land is put into your graveyard from anywhere, Slow Gurk gets a counter. Remove 3 counters. Return Slow Gurk to hand. When Slow Gurk leaves, return up to 3 lands from your graveyard to your hand. This hand is so greedy. Actually, it's not even greedy. It's just not good. Thopter, Simulacrum, Boulder Branch. This could work. This is slow, but it's slow in a way that I think we can make work. This has to be on white. Into the north. I'll leave that. It gets a little awkward though. We have this Arctic tree line. One thing better than using Teferi's protection against a board wipe is heisting it from the enemy first. I'll have to take your word for that. Let's see, Kami. We want Slogurk to come down next turn, right? We can play Snow-Covered Island. I'm just gonna play out a land. Like, that's probably the slowest way to do this. But I need to make sure we have 3 drops available. I can even play the Synthesizer to potentially scry. If I can go Synthesizer into Boulder, that's probably even better. Oh, Glass Casket to deal with Slogurk. That helps a lot. That means I am incentivized to go ahead and grab blue-green. There we go. Now we have 2 green sources and 2 blue sources. Zeta Raidfinder. Okay. So this does want to absolutely be a mulching type of deck, and that's interesting. They picked it up after missing a land. Did they? That feels way too early to scoop. I mean, okay, so theoretically you miss a land drop, right? Like, the reason you're picking it up is that your mulch did not hit anything else. You don't really have anything I want to target with Lagrella. Let's assume I don't draw another land. I could theoretically hold them negate in case they have another ramp spell they want to try playing. I'm probably... I guess it gets blue-green. I want to be able to play the Synthesizer with negate backup. So then we are playing the Thopteryx. Alternatively, we can go ahead and take this turn to play the Boulder Branch Golem and then have a really good target to get underneath Lagrella. I think I like that better. Shockingly, I don't play with heist cards. Like, I've just never heisted. I think I've heisted a card exactly once, and that was because I reanimated my opponent's Grenzo. Jury Master of the Review. This is going to be another really high aggro match. Ooh, having Urza and Guardian Project with a couple of mana dorks is pretty good here. Whenever you sack a permanent, you put a counter on Jury. Whenever Jury dies, it deals that much damage to any target. So it's like Lagrella can go ahead and hit them. But that's also predicated on the idea that any of our stuff is living. Guardian Project helps with that. Heist is fun because it scales with enemy deck power. That's not incorrect. That's a going second. Let's see. I think this might be a little slow. I'm going to lead off on Delighted Halfling. I can afford losing Halfling over, say, Bird of Paradise. Charming Scoundrel. Ooh, and it took heist is a random number generator. You know what? That's not wrong. I like that. That's good reasoning. Thassa. This is interesting. We could go Birds of Paradise. We could also go Lagrella. I'm going to go Urza. I think Urza is a really effective blocker here. And I don't really mind if Urza eats. You've got Thassa here. Which one am I to grab? I think if I get the Guardian Project online, probably in a much better spot. Alright, so they're going Goldhound. They're going really, really wide. Am I gonna have enough time to set up? That's the question. Pull the Mist Moon here. I would love to be able to play that at 5. Just whenever you sack a permanent, and they have 1, 2 cards they could potentially sack to make this really, really big. Try and flame at me. They could be trying to go for a one-shot. Could pull the Mist Moon, eat the Groundhog. I want to hold on to this for Jury specifically. Make them have any sort of speed. Removal. Instant speed, Sacra, Atlas, more like. You don't have Death Touch, right? Okay, no, you just escape. You're just a Goyf that escapes. Next turn, if Halfling lives, we have the option of using Pull the Moon. We also have the option of using Lagrella now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mana available. Alright, shocking. They're going again. They can still kill. Oh no, they're gonna grief us. Okay, well, Thassa's here. Pull the Mist Moon might be what they take. Thassa does start drawing us a lot of cards. Nope, they take Thassa. They take our engine piece. Ingenious Smith is here. Ingenious Smith into Lagrella is pretty good. The Grief, you definitely don't want to hit that. Let's see, I might get the Goyf. Again, we also have Pull the Mist Moon here. I think we're really tight on blue, I think. What would I like this to be? I would like... You know what? Let's hedge Maze. Let's hedge our bet real quick. Elish Norn. Alright. Let's go ahead and draw Elish Norn. Play the Ingenious Smith. We get the draw. We get a Circuit Mender too. Okay. It's not perfect. But now if anything happens to the Halfling, we're set there. We could pull the Mist Moon, put it on the Elish Norn. Screaming Nemesis. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, deals that much damage to any other target. If a player is dealt damage, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. I don't mind taking 3 from the Grief. Do I block with the bird then? I might just block with the bird. Then that's no damage and I get the block? Like, if it works, right? Dovin's Veto is pretty good here too. Oh, and we can also Circuit Mender? Get Circuit Mender, gain life. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Dovin's Veto is good backup. Alright, tell you what, chat. Tell you what. Let's go ahead, play Lagrella. Hey, Mint. We're gonna use Lagrella. We're gonna go ahead and bounce, hit the Screaming Nemesis, hit the Ingenious Smith. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was gonna say, because I want to leave up the Dovin's Veto in case they try and do like a fling or something really big with that. But now that we've hit the Screaming Nemesis and we get to draw any cards, if anything happens to Lagrella in the next turn cycle, we get to draw additional cards and try and dig for more artifacts. You hate till end of the game effects. They're cheap design, but the coolest card otherwise. I think the biggest issue with and for the rest of the game effects is that they can be really hard memory. I don't really like that style of design that really asks players to track like a ton more things, especially if there's not a hard marker. Like exhaust is fine because they use the +1/+1 counters to help as reminders, but there's nothing for Nemesis. Is there anything more sad than a Rakdos deck that doesn't get off? Honestly, I think that's about right though. Like, here's the thing: most Rakdos decks are trying to go for like a mile a minute. It's like, even if you get to go off, do you actually get time to enjoy it? Like, I'm all in for like a wham bam, thank you ma'am, but at the same time, it's like you have to get, I don't know what, 5-10 of those types of games in just to feel something. See, this is why I would only play something like really fast combo decks with no interaction if I was trying to like just machine gun games, or if I was like, you know, trying to preserve my sanity. Because here's the thing, right? They say you play mono red at tournaments because, hey, then you could always have time to eat and take care of yourself. But if you're doing like what we do these days, where we go to a weekly legacy night and, you know, everyone's there to actually play Magic, everyone's there with full proxies, you're not going to show up with oops all spells. One, because like then you'd have to proxy like 2 different decks because everything is double-sided. And then 2, because, you know, the game's over in like 10 minutes and now you and your opponent are like, okay, I guess we'll just chill while everyone else actually gets to play Magic. Now, that being said, I've got a bet going on with my wife. We don't know exactly what we're betting for, but I know that when we do, we're going to bet legacy decks that we each have to play. And if I win, I'm going to make her play oops all spells. Let's see, Nashi Illusion Gadget here. This is going to be pain. This is so much pain. Nashi should not have Flash. That being said, we've got Panharmonicon, Fredo Clear Cutter. I don't think this is good enough. This doesn't feel good enough. Identified Hover Ship, Elishnorn. Elishnorn would be a great card to hold on to. House Meld could make this work. This is a weak hand because we're missing a lot of early stuff. I might need to cut the curd back. But like, Hover Ship to exile any problem creatures, potentially House Meld. We're just kind of doing this on a hope and a prayer. Okay, there's the Chromox. They're giving up a Pact of Negation, is that right? Relic of Legends, okay. I could Beseiju, but like, what's the point of Beseijuing a rock if they just get a land out of it? And especially with Nash, you can just like literally get it back. Okay, so now they can Nash the burn. You hate to see this. Okay, I could Esper Sentinel. I can also Circuit Mender. Circuit Mender gives me life. I think I need to Esper Sentinel here. And then they can Nash you in response if what they really want is to get a land, I guess. Flare of Denial, counter the Esper Sentinel. Go ahead, flash and Nashi. They can get back the Flare of Denial, sacrifice Nashi to replay the Flare of Denial. They've got 2 cards left in hand. I need to see if they draw any sort of gas. Like, that's really the only chance we have here. If that's 5 or less, you have 4. Alright, Nashi, you get back your Flare, so you have a free counterspell, which means we have to play around that if we want to either Elishnorn or House Meld you. And then House Meld doesn't even work because you just sacrifice Nashi so you can recycle Nashi. Giving Nashi Flash was a mistake. It was such a huge mistake to get. Oh, there's Seagate Restoration. I'm going to take a look to see what my next draw is, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're just going to pick this up. Okay. I'm going to try mulliganing a little more aggressively, but if this next game ends up being one of those where we get caught because we're not able to mulligan into something fast enough, then I definitely need to consider putting in maybe probably a Landwehr Elf and an Elvish Mystic. I don't think we want a Utopia Sprawl. Captain Howler's Sea Scourge. This is a deck that we showcased a few weeks ago. Really testing my patience here, deck. Did I do something to offend you? Did I do something to make this so hard? Okay. Okay. Ingenious Smith, Circuit Mender, those are really good. I think we either go with the Combat Thresher or go with the Circuit Mender. I think I'd rather keep the Thresher. Alright, lead up on Spara. Now we can go into Ingenious Smith, into Thresher. Both of these are good Lagrella targets. Captain Howler. If it's anything like my deck, then we don't have to worry about it too much until they start getting some sort of a creature presence. The question is going to be how much spot removal are they running? Like, are they just running like the requisite amount or what? Soul Herder's not bad. We can go Clear Cutter to start ramping up. That would let us play Panharmonicon. I can also consider playing Lagrella here, and I think that's what I want to do. I'm going to do this very specifically to just deny them mana on tempo. Even though Clear Cutter and Thresher would be like way, way better targets. I'm going to get this Panharmonicon down next turn. Let's see. So Captain Howler comes out. Legion of Clay. I need to grab blue with this. Probably should have grabbed. Legion of Clay is going to be one of our win conditions here. Oh no, is it going to be like not spell snared? No, it's not. So those not familiar, Legion of Clay is an alchemy card that gives all of our creatures trample. And whenever one or more non-token artifacts we control come to play, creatures we control perpetually get +1/+1. And since everything we have is an artifact or blinks artifacts, that is huge. This is unfortunately it's an idea. What would I like to do here? I would like. Let's see, we can Combat Thresher, turn this into... Oh, sweet. Pass the turn. Now the Thresher trades with Howler. Howler only pumps up by power. We could absolutely get chonked, though, because if they give Captain Howler, say... double strike off of the Ferocious Fury card. That's a problem. Talon's Messenger. Whenever you attack with one or more fairies, draw a card, then discard a card. You discard a card, put one counter on each fairy you control. Okay. This is what? Pay two life? I would love to exile that. That's going to take all of my mana to do this turn. So I think I have to accept that. I'm not really getting a lot of time to try and set up here. Legion of Clay is probably like the best setup card I could have gotten. There is an opportunity for them to shock the Soul Herder too. Yeah, There we go. Better now than when they actually have a chance to do something else, I guess. Now Talon's Messenger gets to attack. It gets to attack as a 3/4 power card. Circuit Mender is going to be really important. So we're going to go Chrome Lantern Ender, I guess. Kiora the Rising Tide. That's a good one. Draw 2, discard 2. It's only going to be 1 instance for Captain Howler, but that's still a lot. Yep. 5/3. Gets to attack as a 6/7 card. Oof. I'm in danger. I am in so much danger right now if I can't find... They dropped the bolt. That's interesting. Oh, yep. Casual 8 damage with 2 instances, so they get a draw 2. That's the kind of power that Captain Howler's bringing. I don't think we're surviving this. Like, I can go ahead and drop Clear Cutter and Mender. But if they pump a huge amount into Talon, then we're just toast. 10 armor. Alright. There's Clear Cutter. Just try and get some more creature presence out, I guess. Okay, they're gonna memory lapse that. I am fine with that getting memory lapse. I can attack with Lagrella, but let's leave Lagrella back. Fate's out of our hands. We have like 0 autonomy here. Because our next draw is locked out. They can go ahead and attack with the messenger. I'm pretty comfortable saying we're dead. GG's. Okay, so... where are we currently suffering on this deck? Despite the fact that our commander is interaction, we're having a hard time keeping up with a lot of the smaller decks. Ooh, Mimeoplasm. I will always take wild cards. Wild cards are, in fact, the best thing a gal could get. And this is the last 2 orbs I need to spend. We're just too slow. Which means we are definitely going to be looking at good old friend Mox. The authority of the consoles here was very specifically to help slow down aggro decks. I don't think it's doing its job anymore. And there's just other ways that we can deal with that too now. We can try taking a look at more mana dorks. I would like to find more... maybe it is just more mana dorks, actually. Anything that helps us get to Lagrella on 3, potentially. Most of our curve is on 3. We already have the Grazer, so like maybe more along like the Bamboo Kami? Kami of Bamboo might. Kami of the Bamboo. And theoretically, Chromox will help us. We'll be able to recoup the loss on Chromox. Then, let's see. We're going to really try and cut the fat here. Pathmaker is theoretically really good. Like, at 6 mana, we get to tutor for any artifact. And then if we're tutoring for, like, you know, anything small, is it a play? Theoretically. I've already had to cut so many of the original prototype cards that also inspired this deck. The thing I really wanted to do was just play the prototypes as small and then use Lagrella to put them in as big. Like, Cradle Clear Cutter can make so much mana when it comes back out from underneath. So then, if it's that important for us to get to 3, like, we're not really playing, like, Into the North, right? Are we putting more emphasis on 1 to 3 than saving the 2 for our interaction? Theoretically. I think we still keep into the north. Bike is still good. Maybe it's less about stuff like get lost and more trying to emphasize 1 mana removal. Very possible. Thought monitor. Chimil was here because we were just so slow. We were really good at like taking over the game, and then we needed something that could actually like just value us away, but that's also probably too slow. I thought cast is something that's actually on Arena now. Oh, whoops. There goes Spar's headquarters. Watch out, we got people protesting in front of it the way that they're protesting ye old Teslas. Which, like, hey, you know what? I don't advocate violence, but Teslas are not people. So, like, if you want to just, like, casually, you know, forget how far your keys are sticking out, they'll give them a real nice long line of duty. I'm not saying, but I am not saying either. Farewell. This beat better is. What are we doing? We're like really mid-range. So, but we also want to be like really heavy on creatures. There's also just going to be a lot of games where that's going to be too little, too late. We can take a look at temporary lockdown. I think that's probably going to help us out a lot. Snore is still fine. We still run Yorion. Panharmonica. Let's see. If borrowing Guardian Project, those are. Still have Wrath. Do we need Urza? Urza makes all the artifacts cheaper. But we have so many other artifacts that also make our cheaper. Basically, do we want to run Mightstone, Weakstone with when I was running this deck originally, I did. Maybe I don't. Like, maybe Urza doesn't actually do enough for this deck specifically, weirdly enough. Making the artifacts cheaper isn't. But if we're trying to, like, speed this up a little bit, being able to go from, like, 1 to 3 is a lot more meaningful than shaving off an extra mana off of, like, a 4 or 5 drop. That's my thinking, at least. Didn't get a chance to try the Peter. The Simulacrum Synthesizer is probably, like, the biggest go-off moment here. It's entirely possible that what we do is grab some of our copy artifacts, too. I think I like that. Okay. So, for now, because we have copy artifacts. We have... Let's see, where are they? We have Phyrexian Metamorph, and we have Surgical Metamorph. A copy of any permanent except as an artifact in addition. Copy of any artifact or creature. Like, we can make use of that. That's a pretty good upgrade. We also have Enigma Jewel. Spend a mana only to activate abilities, though? Okay, never mind. That's not what I thought it was. I thought there was like a really... I thought there was another cheap artifact ramper, but I guess not. Let's see. What's the... mana only artifact? You can also take a look at some of the affinity cards. Automated Artificer can help cast artifacts. Guidelight Optimizer can also cast artifacts. Now we just need like mana that actually helps us cast other things too. I think the Bloom Tender was a card that we already had. It's a card that we could potentially run. The Bloom Tender is pretty good. I don't know if Bloom Tender is for this deck specifically. We've got like 2 slots left. So we want, yeah, let's grab temporary lockdown. For that, specifically for the aggro matchup. And then what are we doing against like the control? We do want to have like control interaction, or at least like another thing in our repertoire. Path of Humiliation. Let's see. Patriarch's Humiliation is actually a really good one. Just makes the creature lose all abilities. That might be what I regret. Hard to say no to that. I'm not running Brainstorm for some reason. Brainstorm is really good at sculpting. If we go with Brainstorm, we want to keep the Humiliation. What are we cutting? Right hand, Thought Monitor. I guess we cut the Pathmaker. And then we consider cutting one more thing if we want Affinity. You know what? Let's just leave this at that. Yo, hold on. What's my Final Fantasy 3 Eternal Wind, right? Not a recommendation. I have to be on recommendations or something, right? Yeah, this isn't part of my normal playlist. I mean, I'll leave it on. It's not copyrighted or anything. Kami the Bamboo Grove, World Wagon next turn. I like this. Even if we are up against Joyroad Weatherlight Captain, whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. Fuck. Alright. Alright. I see you. Go ahead, put in the Portico. Surveil says Grazer is not going to get the job done. Next turn, we go World Wagon, Soul Herder, Crew the World Wagon. This is a Crew 4. Now, the good news is I don't got to worry about Lagrella. Yes, I will search for a basic land. Gap Island, bop in for 1. Bop our way to the top. Power is equal to the number of lands you control. This card is cool. Phyrexian Metamorph copying the World Wagon. Yeah, that works. That definitely works. Now we have to question. This is Crew 4. This creature enters, return an artifact. I would love to play Guardian Project right now. Soul Herder can also potentially get bigger. I'm going to pay the life here, specifically because I want to be able to play around any pay ones. This also potentially holds up Wash Away. Wait, no, they copied Arcane Signet? They copied Arcane Signet. Alright, well, there's Midnight Clock. So it be. Okay. I could still Lagrella. And also Archaeomender here. I always play the Soul Herder. I'm going to play the Archaeomender. And then we're going to have them all crew the World Wagon if this resolves. If anything resolves. No, it doesn't. Okay. I guess I just play the Archaeomender to get the redraw then. And then next turn we can play Lagrella. Play Lagrella and swing in with the World Wagon. If you don't know, Joyra is in fact a combo deck. The Mystic Forge is a part of that. Cast artifacts and spells for the top. That is huge. Amazing even. I don't want to play like but if I can just like start attacking with the World Wagon, it's gonna be pretty good too. All right, Let's go ahead and play Thassa. Thassa's a free redraw. What is that? They exiled Ironcrag. Swan Song. That is bold. That is bold for someone who's within brewing distance. Go ahead and grab another. Now we have a real clock. Like, we're not going to play Lagrella until we need to. We are, in fact, going to continue. Just lay the smack down. Alright, they're going for it. Casting Jorah. Pay 1 life, exile the top card of their library. Go for it. Sweet. No Jorah today. Was Ornithopter gets exiled. They can still cast artifacts and spells from the top of their library, as long as they're colorless and or artifacts. So, like, they use Swan Song. That's definitely protection against control decks. Very specifically so they can try and force through the combo. I don't think it's correct to use that on a Thassa. I think if you're going to use Swan Song as protection for your combo, then you need to commit to using it for your combo. I'm not getting any value off of flickering Archaeo Manager or Kami. Like, I'm getting a draw a turn, and that will snowball. But you just gave me access to something that's literally gonna clock you in 3 turns. Really happy that the World Wagon actually ended up mattering, though. Like, we go ahead, we crew this. Oh god. And then the Clay Legion. The Clay Legion makes everything stronger, so that way we can just crew this with less creatures. That's fantastic. I love that. Also, oh my god, can you imagine like an old lady and her swan piloting a giant turtle horse? Amazing. 10 out of 10. Chef's kiss. Fantastic, even. You'll love to see it. Oh my god. And this user's name is Fish. It's Fish! Not to be confused with my friend Fish. I think it's safe to say at this point that we are getting roped. Which, hey, you know what? That happens. Also, I need to update my avatar. This avatar is old enough that I'm still using Galadriel for this. When I now have the Sarah avatar. Not the Sarah avatar, the creature whose power and toughness is equal to the life you have. But, you know, the avatar, the player picture head that is Sarah. Like, damn. I love angels and abandoning my world to the forces of evil. Let's go ahead. You know what? I could use probably... or Island. And then I don't need to play out this art. Like, they've got an extra turn. They've got one more turn to try and make this work. And the only real reason to play out the Lantern, I think, is if we have Legion of Clay out. We have so much mana from this World Wagon. This thing's a real workhorse. God damn. Incidentally, so one of the decks that I've been playing at Legacy Night has been the 8 Mulch Mana Bond combo. Except it's only running 4 Mulch, and it's more of a Living Wish type of deck with Lumra in the sideboard. I just pulled a Lumra a few weeks ago, I think. I'm kind of tempted to try Lumra as a budget deck now. Feel of the Dead is banned in Brawl because, like, literally every deck was running it, and it's a really hard card to interact with. Thanks for playing, Fish. But if Field of the Dead was back in Brawl, I would be going so hard into it. I am a Field of the Dead lover for sure. Currently at 132 of 150? 132 of 450 even? And it's great too, because this deck really only loses to hard combo, like Oops All Spells, Ruby Storm, stuff like that. But because it's Proxy Legacy, and people want to, like, you know, be able to play full rounds, I haven't been seeing those combo decks. The opponent goes first. We're playing against Cruel Claw. Cruel Claw is mighty scary. Let's think about this for a second. We have no white sources. Absolutely none. We have a Surgical Metamorph. The Light of Halfling that lets us play Lagrella, but she also just, like, dies. I think we have to ship this back. It's tempting, though. This is probably better. I think I like this a lot more. Because now what we can do... We can go ahead... I'm willing to... Am I willing to Confluence turn 1? I think I have to be. What if Foothills... I think what I do is I play the Confluence. I go ahead, eat 1, take the Esper Sentinel. With Cruel Claw, it's going to be all or nothing. It's going to be they resolved a Grizzlebrand or a Villas or an Emerald Cool, God forbid. And then the game is just going to be over. I don't think it's going to be about managing minutia life totals. Exile cards until you exile non-land, and then you may cast it by discarding a card. So, like, you get to see what you cast before you commit to the discard. Lizard Blades. Okay, then. Lizard Blades. We're gonna play down to Weaponsmith. Weaponsmith can go ahead and block Lizard Blades at least. Lizard Blades on Cruel Claw. That's also bad. If they play Cruel Claw naked, which I don't think they will, then we can Lagrella. I was actually really worried that this was going to be Arena. Okay, they're going to tap. They do pay the tax. Now we have the option of playing either World Wagon. No, we can't play Legion of Clay. You're only for artists. Weaponsmith can still get bolted. And I would prefer that Weaponsmith does not get bolted. Weaponsmith has had a hard enough life. Ooh, okay. We have some options now. I could play the World Wagon and make sure that we have some extra mana for next turn. We also have Weaponsmith into Ingenious Smith, perhaps? We need at least 2 blockers next turn. That's the crux of the matter. I would love to play the World Wagon. Weaponsmith comes down, and then we have 2 for that's Ingenious Smith. And then they both die to Cruel Claw. That's not ideal. That is, like, really not ideal, in fact. Play the Ingenious Smith. That might make it a little more fair. So let's go crack you. Turn you into a breeding pool. And then play the Ingenious Smith. Thopter is pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab another blue source. Pass the turn. Now Cruel Claw does trade at least. So they can't just, like, play Cruel Claw, suit them up, and then swing. If they want to play any sort of removal here, they can, but then they're not getting the tempo off of that. Alright, they're going for it. Like, I'm gonna make this trade every time. Now Cruel Claw is going to cost 5. Orion. Orion, you say? Renowned Weaponsmith is not doing a whole lot. I could take the turn off, play Legion of Clay, play Archive, so that way we can play Lagrella into Goldforge. That could work. Let's do that. Snow-covered forest, we don't want that. Alright, pass the turn. At this point, I'll even trade the Weaponsmith for the Lizard Blade, potentially. That's 4 damage, but then the Legion of Clay actually just makes the Weaponsmith so much better at blocking. If we can go ahead, we can play Lagrella, then into Thopteryx. That's big enough to pilot the wagon. The biggest issue is just making sure we have enough blockers. Okay, so they are going to bolt Weaponsmith. I'm going to float mana, even though it doesn't actually do anything. It's just a good habit to have. Alright. So... yeah, bot for 4. Bot for 4. Alright, now we once again have to think about how we want to do this, because if they have, like, an additional land, that's bad. I think... we're playing Lagrella. I think we're going to hit the Lizard Blades. We'll pay for the ward cost. And then... I'll play the Goldforge. If they have removal for Lagrella... They have removal for Lagrella. Yep, they have removal for Lagrella. What do I think of the Cruel Claw nerf? What Cruel Claw nerf? There's no nerf here. Okay, yep, there we go. Let's just hope that Cruel Claw whiffs. That's like the only thing we can do. Yeah, Cruel Claw has not been nerfed in any way. Shouldred is like a really, really big problem. House Meld could help. House Meld could fix me. You could cast any spell in your hand by discarding. Yeah, that's not a nerf. Cruel Claw has always been able to do this. And it's not in hand, you have to exile. Now you search your library. No, it's... No. Whenever Cruel Claw deals combat damage to a player, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land. You may cast that card by discarding a card rather than paying its mana cost. That's how it's always worked. This is a... I need to look... I need to Lagrella bad. And I need to hit, very specifically, Cruel Claw. And then I'm going to have to use the Thopteryx to block Shouldred. No attacks, pass. Although, I could crew the World Wagon. Yeah, I think I crew the World Wagon. Alright, let them pay the war too. Oh, wait, no. Never... They can just go ahead and suit up with the boots again. Yeah, that's game. Yep. Oh, God, that was rough. That was really, really rough. Cruel Claw gets to get away with just playing removal and big spells like that. We had a chance that they whiffed off of the Shouldred. Like, if it's just a removal spell, they're already tapped out. I guess they could just play it for free anyway. All right, it's Nadu. Yeah, it's Nadu. This is actually just like the biggest pain in the ass for this deck, because anytime we target Nadu, they just get a free draw off of it. And we're on the draw. Ow. I mean, this hand is strictly playable. They've gone green, green, rampant growth, get blue for Nadu. This is just bad no matter how you slice it. So we have two options. We could... I'm always playing this on blue. We can play Delighted Halfling. We can play Ornithopter. That lets us play Lagrella next turn. I don't want to... I want to hold up Negate. They're probably not even going to bother playing Nadu this turn. This is a really hard one. We need like a value engine that can keep up with it. We're going to need very specifically... Guardian Project? Leather Armor is a card I would have loved to have hit with Negate. Now they get a Tamio Safekeeping. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. It's got Ward 1. I have to pray that they don't hit like a green source. And I'm not going to bother hitting my halfling. Yep, okay, Nadu triggers. They draw Agent Rafine, so I do get to go ahead and exile Nadu for now. So now they have Tamio Safekeeping and Agent of Rafine ready. They can even just like drop a land, equip the armor, because the armor is free. Exile target artifact or creature, so we can use this to hit the armor. What's our game plan here? Because if we try and go like 1-for-1 on removal, we're going to be in for a really bad. But counter our target creature control. Meanwhile, we... Well... Okay. The Agent Rafine actually just goes completely nuts. The Annex Sentry ideally deals with the leather armor. At least this way we have negate for backup. But if we do this, then they... Okay, so like, Strict Serenade. If we counter this, we don't get to hit the Agent Ravine, but we can hit the leather armor. And that's going to be significant because now it's one less thing, I guess. But now with Agent of Rafine, they can actually just sit back and play draw go. Alright, that's a Rex Sage. That does hit the Annex Sentry. If we draw a land, we can play Archaeo Mender to get it back. But we have to very specifically hit a land to do that. Counter on the Sage to make it understood. Right now they're struggling to draw for lands. I feel that. Okay. Play the Archaeomander. Get back Annex Sentry. Play the Ornithopter. Now Emery's going to be a little cheaper next turn. We can block with Lagrella. Have Archaeomander go underneath. We have options. We're slowly getting there, but we're getting there only because the opponent has not been hitting additional lands. It's 1-0 in Ward 1. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, you conjure a random card from the tome into the hand. You hate to see that. You hate to see that. There are just so many cards that get the job done there. Yep. We'll go ahead and take that. The tome is bad. Don't get me wrong. The tome is a problem. It helps them dig really, really well. Okay, they're going to consider because they want to try and hit that main drop. They also have Tamio's safekeeping up now. I'm trying to think here. We just need something. We need just get through this. It's not going to be a lot of point in playing Lagrella right. But if we can ramp up and get Portal going, so we're 4, 5, 6, we're 3 away. Let's go ahead and cast a Brainstorm main phase. Perilous Snare is cool. I think we put back Combat Thresher. I'm willing to put back Inventor's Fair. Perilous Snare to deal with the Innkeeper's talent is... I can also... Is Perilous Snare... Actually, hold on. Looking for a second here. Okay. Lay out the Cavernous Souls. Name Human. Kind of, I guess. Now we can go ahead and Emery. Play Emery, mill through those. And then we're going to Annex Sentry, get rid of the tome for sure. And then they can use the Tamios on that. But then that's going to open up Lagrella next turn. It's a shot. It's a shot. Also, what else did we mill? Mana Drain? Okay, they are going to... They are. Okay. Now we have 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. We need one more mana to make this work. And there's Nadu. Okay. So they get 2 triggers off of the leather. They can move it over to Rex Sage. They can move it over to Nadu. And I have to pray to God that they don't hit any lands. Like, that's the weird thing about these Nadu decks, is that they actually just want to hit nothing but lands. That's a land. Okay, yep. The Annex Sentry. Like, I guess I use Lagrella to potentially hit them off Nadu for a turn. Legion of... Would love that. Absolutely. Alright, we currently have 8. That's 1 short. We can make that work. We can make that work. Exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls. The snare. Permanents you control have ward 1. You have ward 1 times 2. So I don't actually have enough then. I don't have enough to do it. I can Lagrella, get rid of Nadu. And then they can try replaying Nadu. Let's go ahead and make sure that you are... No! Okay. Guess it doesn't matter. Nadu triggers. You get to draw another card. Pay for the 1. Pay the 1. Oh, wait, no, I forgot to target my Archaeomander. There's like nothing in here that I want to play, right? No. This is how it be. This is just how it be. I will block with Lagrella again if I need to. I think. We would put one more counters on. Okay, there's prime time. I don't care about prime time. Said no one ever. I am praying we hit that top deck land because then we can portal. Then we can start getting back creatures, and that is how we win the time war. That is how we win the time war, folks. We're not out of this just yet. Thopteryx would be pretty good. We can, if we don't draw a land, we can Legion of Clay into Combat Thresher. That works. An oil counter target artifact or creature you control. That's a free activation. Big creature. I will sacrifice Lagrella and let Lagrella die, I guess. Yeah, I think that's actually what I do. I think I actually just let Lagrella be dead. Yep. Alright, pass the block. Lagrella can stay dead. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm cool. I'm hip. Alright. Chrome Lantern. That is not what I want. And the biggest issue is that you have ward times 1 times 2. But we play this Chrome Lantern. That does give us some options. So let's go ahead and Perilous Snare. Alright, we can go ahead, hit prime time. Yep, go ahead, pay the 1. Go ahead, pay the 1. And pass turn. Alright, here we go. This is the last turn. It's all Calabunga from here, folks. Flying and Death Touch, reveal the cards for the top of your library and reveal 2 lands. Put those lands on the battlefield tapped. Rest on the bottom of the library. Sword of Feast and Famine. That's really good. That is really, really, really good. And I have to use the Archaeomander to block here. I will just take the 7. Which sucks. But I'm praying that they tap out here. I'm praying. I'm praying. Alright, Uro's a problem. They get 2 more mana. Come on, you know you want to play Snake. You know you want to play Snake. Come on, come on, come on. You know you want to tap out. Come on, just do it. Just do it. I promise. I promise. It's not worth holding anything up. Ah. All right. Now we have to think. Because if they're leaving mana open, then they know that something's up. Okay. Am I just like dead if I don't? No. I think we Legion of Clay. Present that as a target that they want to hit. You have protection from red and green. Not protection from white. So let's go ahead and hit Annex Sentry. Attempt to play. I need these creatures anyway. So like, okay. Yep, there's the mana drain. There's the mana drain. All right. We live or we die. Those are literally our only two options. We live or we die. All right, they are playing Nadu. They have 5 mana currently. All right, first Nadu trigger gets a land. Second Nadu trigger gets another land. Not ideal. We're just taking 11. We are just straight up taking 11. And we have nothing that we can say about that. Zero Vision's Brainstorm, Thought Scour, Slight. You are literally just all counter magic. All right, we're at 8 life. Slip out the back. Ledge Shredder. You can play this until the end of this turn. Boy, Drake. Taking my Emery. All right. And a Serum Visions. I am like 99% sure that we have completely lost this. 99% sure. It could, for the record, it didn't have to be like mana drain. It could have been like anything. They have, and now they've officially gone way too white for Portal to help us out. Okay. All right, here we go. Cowabunga. Well, it resolved. That's a start. No attacks. We are nowhere near out of the danger zone just yet. Okay, yep. There's Consider. They still sort of Forge and Frontier. We have at least a flyer that can block. And... oh boy. They just have so many cards in hand. I think I have to bring back Lagrella, no matter what. Alright, they get another land. Get this one in. I'm probably blocking with their Storm Drake. Now they're hitting their lands. Now they're hitting their lands. And they have enough cards to, like, get Uro out. What draws us cards here? Is it actually, like, Combat Thresher? No? Probably not. I can get... I can get Lagrella, get rid of Nadu. They get another trigger out of it. Is there anything better? Anything? Ledge Shredder, Agent. Agent potentially starts drawing his cards, but that's a little too slow. Imprisoned on the Moon. And then this levels up, and they could fight the Ornithopter. Okay, yep, that's GG's. Not the Nadu matchup is significantly better than it used to be, but that is still really, really rough. A card that can still like just get you value whenever you try, or whenever your opponent has to spend a card to remove it, is absurd. Like, we play to our outs. Trying to think about what we could have drawn that would have helped out there. Maybe the Chamel is actually pretty good because it helps us against the control matchups. Like, if you resolve a Chamel, you just start taking everything over. Glarb. This is not the hand against Glarb. Why? What is wrong with my mana base here? Like, I run a healthy amount of basics because we have cards that fetch basic. Like, this is too much. The opponent's gonna go first. This only taps for blue. This comes on play untapped, can potentially tap for green. On the draw still. This is probably. this works. The Eternal Wanderer is a good card to build up to. If we pull that out, we're probably losing the hate. And the opponent probably wants to go with Glarb next turn, right? Let's go ahead and play Esper Sentinel, because if they have any sort of like fatal push effect, then Esper Sentinel is going to draw us a card. And if not, we're planning on going Arcane Signet next turn anyway, so we can go ahead and play Halflane and not lose tempo. Alright, Dark Six Swords. World Web, say. I'm going to go ahead and play the Mana Confluence. I don't want to have to play into a Tail's End. Yep, there's Arcane Signet. They might negate this. No, they're going to Heartless Act. Alright, so we get the draw off that. And we can play Delighted Halflane, we get the pass. We can play Lagrella. I don't think Delighted Halflane is worth hiding under her. It's the core, they are going to ramp. Ground Catacombs can counter Lagrella, but we're not that right now either. 3, 4. This is going to be a tap land. And yeah, I don't want to have to use the Mana Confluence. We're going to grab first here. Then pass the turn. We'll collect Flooded Strands to surveil at the end of their turn. Binding of the Old Gods. Probably getting rid of World Wagon. Getting rid of World Wagon. No, they're going to get rid of Halfling. I mean, like... I don't think that's incorrect. Let's grab... Yorion's not bad. I don't think Yorion's what I want, though. I want to start finding a way to, like, dig. I guess Yorion does pilot the World Wagon, though. Last Cats, it's not bad. 4, 5, 6. While they're tapped out... Alright, next turn we can go ahead and make another Samurai. Start piloting the World Wagon. Meanwhile, we have this glass casket that conveniently gets rid of Glarb for us. Is it worth it to Passeju anything in particular? It hits enchantments and artifacts. Glarb tends to be pretty much Sultai control. This Samurai is also going to just like start punching for quite a bit of damage. I don't mind if they kill the World Wagon. Sweet. Let's go ahead and grab more Island. I don't think there's a reason for us to play at the Passeju, so we're just gonna chill. Alright. Find the Old Gods gone. Alright, so there's Glarb. Glarb has come to play. Now I have options. Exile up to one target artifact or creature, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of that player's next end step. We'll use this, hit Glarb, see if there's any response to try and protect him.
You're coming with me.
Go ahead. Brew. This is less immediate damage, but it's better value long term. Because, like, we're just ripping so many lands out of our deck. And then, I don't know if I need to play... I don't think I need to play the teleportation portal anymore, right? Like, if they're playing the, Ravages of War or something, that's just an extra... That's just a free target for them. Alright, that was enough. That was enough. Okay, so, like... Lumbering World Wagon, confirmed. Good. This is a good card. This is what I want Solemn Simulacrum to be. But, like, Sadbot is more of a, an EDH card versus, you know, what this can be. Oh, that is so good. And they just... I'm amazed that they didn't have any spot removal. Like, for real. Also, like... Larb is just never going to get to Surveil? That's pretty sweet. Yeah, there's like 2 more ores, but we're not going to use those. Hard to say if the deck feels smooth yet or not. I think those, I think we're getting some rough hands. Okay. Also, by the way, Lila's got a channel trailer. Lila just put that out. Definitely gonna have to check that out. Check that out. Oh my god, I am so excited. For Friday, we're gonna be playing more Strangers of Paradise with Fran. Which means that we're gonna have more chaos to kill. And then at some point, Fran's gonna play Final Fantasy XIV with me? Fantastic. Nico, Light of Hope. This is a deck I don't really get to see all that often. Let's see. Nico enters, you make 2 shards. My hand gets blocked again. Pay 2 tap, exile target non-legendary creature you control. Shards you control become copies of it until the next end step. Return it to the battlefield under its own control at the beginning of the next end step. So this is like a slow blink deck that does some cool stuff. Unfortunately, we do not get to do cool stuff with this hand. Again with the 2 landers. And the opponent's on the play. Like, we can play Grazer into Verge. And then if we draw another land, we can play the Synthesizer, I guess. I feel like I need to hedge and play the Pilgrim first. You only tap for green if I have a forest or island. So I'm going to rely really heavily on this Synthesizer here to actually help dig us down to more lands. And that's a pretty big ask. Charming Prince. That's a really strong... Notably, we could be brainstorming first. Synthesizer Resolving is really good for us, but blue-white can deal with anything. Like, they could Springleaf Drum, exile the Synthesizer, and that would be sad. Oh, fuck yeah. Leave both of those on top. Okay. So now what do I want to do? We're guaranteed 4 mana next turn? Well, they could have played Nico, but they chose not to. Okay. I think if that's going to be the case, I would leave up Brainstorm for sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop Circuit Mender. If they counter Circuit Mender, that eats a counter spell. Mender is like an ideal Lagrella target, but it's not crucial. Yeah, okay. Entity Tracker, that's why. Because now they get... Hold on. Are the shards... They're enchantments. Yeah. That would do it. That would do it. That's a draw, too. Alright, let's go ahead and brainstorm here. And then... We're putting back... You hit 2 drops. I don't think we're playing you. I don't think we want the green. And like Razor is at least. Wait, what? So like the lockdown, we might end up grabbing the lockdown very specifically because then we can actually deal with the shards. It also exiles Prince. It also exiles Springleaf Drum. We're gonna kind of draw no matter what. And then on our next turn, what we can do is we can go ahead and play Pilgrim, or we'll tap Pilgrim. Probably play out this Forest. Probably like swing in with the construct, lock down, hit everything. We can leave Nico alone without shards. He doesn't really do anything. He does still slow blink, but we have a little more leeway with that. There are 4 minutes now. Oh, is it 10 o'clock already? Huh. All right, I guess. Weird. That's an odd game to end on, but like, end it we must. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll see what we got in our pack. Take another look at the deck before we send the crew out on the raid. Okay. So, I like the deck structure a little bit more. Maybe the deck still wants Jamil to help us deal with yield control decks, but this is already kind of a mid-rangey slower card deck. There's still like a fair amount of setup that can cause problems just because you need to get some of these cards going in order to start accumulating the value. The Teleportation Circle, the Thassa, the Soul Herder. These are cards that you can play after the fact and you're not really hurt as much by tempo. But having these as setup points, that's still a problem. That still very much feels like we need to find the opportunity to play them when we aren't under fire, when we aren't like just have a gun to our head. And it's like, okay, we gotta play it out now. And maybe part of that is take another look at some of the other cards. Like you could probably cut the Gold Force Thoptrix if you. I like this specifically because it is Lifelinker. It is a very good card to put underneath Lagrella, and then it helps protect our other legendary permanents. Do have like a fair bit of them. Maybe this needs to be like a Mind Stone. I'm trying to think. Genius Smith, Glass. I think the removal is. Oh, I think we're at a point where it's true. What do we have for like searching artifacts specifically? Search library. Fiddlebender's okay. You really want this to be like creature base. Transit Mage, which searches for an artifact mana value 4 or 5. Or 5. So it grabs Metamorphs, it grabs a Wrath, it grabs Sky Sovereign Ship. It's fine. Trophy Mage, I think, is probably what you want here. Just straight up search for a artifact that's like 3 or more, and or 3. And we have a fair amount of 3s here. That seems a lot better. That seems like the kind of card that we would want to be playing. War of Invention. Got Improvise. Basically just find more ways to grab Synthesizer. Pathmaker unfortunately does not get away with that. Reverse Bowl's a little too slow. Simulacrum is too slow. Thoptrix is fine. The mana is a little intensive. Like, theoretically, go ahead, cut that. Maybe fix up our 2s a little bit. Like, maybe it's not solar transformer we want, but rather we want mind stone. Because then we can potentially temp play this. Like, we can go ahead, hold up counter magic, turn 3, play the mind stone, still be able to hold up counter magic. That's a pretty real thing for us to want. How many creatures are we running? We're still running 30. That's kind of the issues. You don't want to go too hard and remove all the creatures that are helping you out. Steel Seeker here to help us grab more lands. How many lands are we playing? Playing 37. That's like the usual amount I play. It's hard to say. I think having the brainstorm helps out a lot. Like I don't think I had this crafted. No. I definitely had this card, but we didn't have fetches like in abundance. No, we did. We did. They were already in the deck. For some reason, I just wasn't playing brainstorm, I guess. But this helps smooth things out a lot. All right, so we'll go ahead and get ready for raid. If this is the YouTube side, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, follow for missions, and we'll catch you all later. And then over on the Twitch side,